The blessings of being a man. Let me hit this real quick. Sisters, y'all listen. In our culture back in the motherland, there was a process that boys had to go through to become a man. In some cultures, what would happen is the boy would be sleeping, and his father or another group of men would come into the house and drag him out of his bed. He didn't know it was coming. Depending on age, sometimes it might be 15, sometimes it might be 16, sometimes it might be 18. Different cultures, they would do this different ways. And they would drag him out of his bed, away from his mama. And the mother knew it was going to happen. And so when they're dragging him out of the bed, because often it might be his father, often it might be somebody else, they'll have a mask on. And they'll drag him out the bed, and the mother will be dramatic. Oh, Lord, don't take my son. You know, just to create the moment of him being pulled away, because this is the one time mama can't save you. So she just screams in the background as they take her baby. And I believe that many of these mothers, while they may have been dramatic, there was a real pain because they knew when he came back, their boy would be gone. That little boy that would hug on her and cling to her and do boyish things, depend on her, he would be gone because in his time away, his father and the other men in his village would teach him what it means to be a man. It was intentional because our ancestors knew that it was very important because of the role that a man plays in our society, the role that a man plays in our communities, the role that a man plays in our cities, the role that a man plays in our churches, the role that a man plays in our homes is incredibly important. And so the moms knew they had to let him go. They knew they had to let him go because that's the only way for the village to survive, for her to survive. Like her survival depends on him becoming a man, because if something happens to her husband, she wants to know that she can lean on her son, who is now a man. Right now, there's a lot of boys depending on their mamas, full-grown man. Mama can't depend on him. And then that boy, because he hasn't been taught to be a man, is going out making other boys. So mama not just taking care of him, but she's also taking care of his children. Why? Because he's a boy. He looks like a man, stands like a man, walks like a man, has the strength of a man. But really, you start talking to him, spend some time with him, you realize he's just a boy. At some point, the Creator saw it fit to move me into manhood. I didn't have the gift of this process. See, because what they would do is they would take these boys into the jungle and they would put them through intentional hardship, push them to the edge to help them understand what it means to feel pain and still move forward, to feel emotional despair and still move forward, to feel lack and create abundance. Like they had to teach them these things because this is what it means to be a man. A month or two later, what used to be a little boy walks back into the village, but something's different. You might even have the same frame. You might have the same build, maybe a little stronger, maybe a little leaner because he had to get his own food. But his spirit was different because he now has a spirit of a man. Today, 45 years old, I'm so grateful for the gift of being man. for the gift of, even inside of however I might feel, being responsible, having the ability to tether my words, tether my emotions, look at the big picture, connect with the Creator and ask Him to help me align with the greater plan, to be responsible, to take care of those that I love, take care of those in my family that need support, to give. To deny my impulses for the greater good of the community, the greater good of the village, the greater good of my purpose. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a man, like to truly be a man. I don't take that for granted. I wanted to call that one out, man, because nowadays in this modern society, see, we don't have to be a farmer, a soldier, a gatherer, a protector. Like, we get to pick roles. There was a time where you might be bending over to till the field and you have to have your sword because you got to be able to protect your family. You might be carrying the water, but you got to have your sword. And so there was a different, like, you had to be a man. And if you weren't a man, you were an outcast because you were no good to the village. Get away. Go away. We need men in our community. We need like solid men, because right now we're getting taken and overrun by boys. And the only thing that can stop it are men. I had to say that. I mean, it just is in my spirit. And I hope that a man that's a boy right now heard it and it just triggered you on the inside. Like something about it triggered you. And before you get mad at me, I just want you to get present to who you are. It may not be your fault that you're still a boy. You might not have known. So in this moment, you heard it. You could either put your anger towards me, or you can open up your heart and say, God, I'm mad about what he just said, but help me step into my manhood. Help me use this energy, this emotion, and curve this into a place that actually takes me into a new place from boy to man, so that I'm not taking from those around me, but so that I'm giving back, not just to my family, but to others in the community, not just to my children, but to their friends and their community, and that I'm living my purpose as a man. We need more men. Amen.